own most cherished values. And I've seen the stories of Americans in schools and churches and communities across the country who stood up for them and rallied behind them and pushed us to give them a better path and freedom from fear, because we are a better nation than one that expels innocent young kids. And the answer to your question, sir, and the next time I'd prefer you let me finish my statements before you ask that question, is this is the right thing to do for the American people. Baby, I didn't ask for an argument. I'm answering your question. It is the right thing to do for the American people, and here's why. Here's the reason. Because these young people are going to make extraordinary contributions and are already making contributions to our society. I've got a young person who is serving in our military, protecting us and our freedom. The notion that in some ways we would treat them as expendable makes no sense. If there's a young person here who has grown up here and wants to contribute to this society, wants to maybe start a business that will create jobs for other folks who are looking for work, that's the right thing to do. Giving certainty to our farmers and our ranchers. Making sure that in addition to border security, we're creating a comprehensive framework for legal immigration. These are all the right things to do. We have always drawn strength from being a nation of immigrants, as well as a nation of laws, and that's going to continue. And my hope is that Congress recognizes that and gets behind this effort. All right? Thank you very much, everybody.
Specifically ruled this out, sir, last year.
What about American workers who are unemployed?
Very interesting. The president saying that he will implement this policy. The Department of Homeland Security will implement this policy of lifting the shadow of deportation for those young people who fall within this group. You have to be under 30 years old. You have to have been brought to the United States illegally by your parents before you were 16, and so on. He will do that because it's more fair, more efficient, and more just, and said that this group of people to whom he's extending this courtesy, if you will, are Americans in their hearts. For all intents and purposes, they're Americans, he went on to say. You heard a reporter, a man, we don't know who he was, shout out to the president, "Why do you favor foreign workers over American workers?" We are working to find out who that is. We're being told by the White House crew they don't believe that's one of the regular White House press members, but we're not sure of that, trying to get his identity. The president trying to answer him, saying he believes this is the right thing to do and saying that we're a better nation for doing this. The president will have to face questions about whether he has the right. Now, he says it's a deportation prioritization, and he's been praised just moments ago by Senator Leahy, Patrick Leahy, in the Senate for this prioritization decision. They get to decide where they're going to allocate their limited resources at DHS. But already you're having some Republicans say it's a form of amnesty and the president doesn't have the right to bypass Congress. Pete King, Congressman, a Republican in the House, comes out and says the administration is overstepping its authority by weakening immigration laws without congressional approval. He writes, this latest move is even more serious because it signifies to potential illegal aliens that border agents will turn a blind eye. He says his committee will launch an immediate review into this decision. And I want to just take you back because this is where the debate's going to go. The president today does this administratively through the Homeland Security Department, saying don't worry about it if you fall within this group, the so-called Dreamers. That's how the president addressed the group. Well, he was asked about the Dreamers last year. The question was on the DREAM Act. You have the facts, numbers, dollars, and votes on the side of granting administrative relief for Dreamers. We're doing our part, it's time to do yours. He answered, I have to say, this notion that somehow I can just change the laws unilaterally is just not true, and then said this.
We are doing everything we can administratively. But the fact of the matter is there are laws on the books that I have to enforce. And I think there's been a great disservice done to the cause of getting the DREAM Act passed and getting comprehensive immigration passed by perpetrating the notion that somehow by myself I can go and do these things. It's just not true.
Well, the president did not take questions about how he squares that position then and this position today, but those will be asked in the days to come. Now being told that that was Neil Monroe of the dailycaller.com, our website online, who asked the president that question and did ultimately get an answer. We're going to move on and talk